Oh, damn sling. Might put my arm in a sling here for a minute. Oh. Oh. Oh.
Sometimes I struggle in my life. Sometimes I don't know what is right. Sometimes I just want to get through the day and night. Without putting up much of a fight. Sometimes I struggle in my life. Sometimes I don't know what is right. Sometimes I just want to get through the day and night. Without putting up much of a fight. Sometimes I struggle in my life. Sometimes I don't know what is right. Sometimes I just want to get through the day and night.
Oh, I'll put my sling on. Think I can take it off here in a little bit if I need to. I wore it all through. I went to church service today. I wore it the whole time I was at church. And then I came home, took it off, did a little bit of cooking and stuff. And then I wore it again and took a second walk for the day before I came on here to do this stream. I set this up a little while ago, just kind of a little while ahead of time. And when I use Restream, I have a couple of short little videos that are uploaded into Restream, I guess, like that drumming video, and then that other one I just uploaded of me walking today. And of course, the drumming video is somewhere on a short, and I think it's in a playlist of drumming. Although I haven't actually used the drumsticks in a few weeks, just because today's the first time. Today, I actually, before church and everything, I actually wrote a little something. I did share that in the community with a picture of the pond and stuff, like you could see the sunlight and stuff. But I shared a writing that I wrote this morning. And when I say I wrote it, I just mean that I used my actual hand, and the process of writing came through my hand with a pen. Same difference if I was typing it and had a keyboard. But when I say I mean in my physical body was the utensil used to transcribe something, and end up on paper. Like a lot of times, the type of writing that I've done throughout my life, although, there's been a couple of things here and there, like one thing was in some kind of poetry book, one thing, some church printed in one of their weekly little things, a prayer that I wrote one time and stuff like that. But as far as being known by anybody that somebody could say they know me as a writer, nobody would know. But I've talked about that before, that for me, whether you make money at it or not, like an artist is an artist. It doesn't matter if they're professional and make a living at it, or they just like art and they do something that is artful or artistic, whether that be drawing, painting, writing poetry, writing music, playing an instrument, being able to sing, anything like that. Before I took off today, I also wrote "Be Grateful" on the piece of paper for myself. And if you didn't see that post in the community, this is the thing I wrote this morning, or that I feel like was passed on. Like I feel like a conduit. Like I feel like I'm like I said, I like my body and mind are used. For me, I feel like that the creative side of myself comes from outside of, like, it comes from within, but it's almost like, from within, it's giving me some kind of inspiration or whatever. Like a lot of times, if I write something, once I look at it later on, it doesn't even seem like I wrote it. Like it's almost like I'm reading somebody else's. You know what I mean? That's why I say I feel like I'm like a conduit. Like I'm a tool for the spirit to manifest a message if it needs to be. So, and of course, if you're here watching and you don't believe in anything of outside of the science and the physical and what you can actually sense with all your different 5 abilities or whatever, that's fine too, because not everybody has came to any conclusions in life sometimes about certain things. I even me the past few weeks, like I still am learning that questioning myself and some of the things that I have came to be so convinced about, sometimes it's still a good thing. Like I have to continue Like my completeness comes through me questioning and doubting. My completeness comes from within, not outside of me. Um, you know, like that's how I see it anyway. That's how it works with Gray Cloud. So I don't know if you can hear me or not. I've got that fan blowing. That might be making a little. Carry a flame of ages past. Walk with fearless boldness. Let life be something new and exciting again. Touch the earth and call to the spirit. Stand firm on the place where you're at or where you are. It is hollowed ground when the light is moving with and through you. You know, when that light is moving with you as well as through you, wherever you find your feet placed at that moment in time in the interval of whatever space and time it is, would be holy ground or hollow ground, you know, whatever, sacred. Because if we have the presence of this, if the spirit is, if the presence is there and near, and you're wherever it is you're physically finding yourself, then that would make that, you know, at least you don't have to take anything I say for, you can take it all with a grain of salt. I've said this plenty of times too, especially over the past month or so. I'm not a preacher and I don't claim to be. So, but anybody that's watching, hey, what's up? feed, feed Kant bacon. Feck, feckism. Okay. Yeah, I guess you were meaning fuck, but I see what you said. Feck. How's it going? I just now noticed, looked down and seen that you made a comment. I appreciate it. Yeah. But I just know that the past few days, this past week has been good for me, and I'm just trying to be here. I decided to just go live for a minute. You know, I don't know. I know that there's a few people that I have interactions with fairly regular. There's a couple of people I know that may not be going through the best of days today. I don't know for sure. I know one person particularly. Uh, I'm concerned because I had not heard anything since yesterday, and then, you know, I did get a brief message this morning, but they were just basically like, "No, I'm not doing too good, and I will get back with you later." So, you know, when you hear something like that, you just kind of wonder. Like, I hope it's not like it could be a couple of things. It could be mental, like, you know, someone's struggling mentally, maybe they're depressed, and it could also be something physical. So, you know, there's a combination of like just concern, genuine concern out of because I'm an empathetic person, you know, like uh, I know what it's like when I feel like shit, and I, you know, so like when I hear anybody else maybe going through something, especially if I know them on some sort of level other than just, you know, like from like just comments or something. Like if I actually interact with somebody pretty well. Uh-oh. Sorry about that. If you hear the puppies, they're in there whining. I'd moved before I came on live. I moved the puppies into here, cleaned up their little spot, and threw them down a new. Are you from? Uh, I mean, I don't know because I'm not. I'm not here just for to be balls to the wall about anything. So that would be really up for. In other words, if somebody comes on and I don't know you too well, I just don't want to let some. I don't want you to come on here and just be like fucking. I know I'm cussing and stuff, but we got to. I just try to be mindful, man. That's the only thing I would say. And I hadn't even made a decision yet, so I seem like I seem like I'm him hawing around, I guess. Like the other day, I've been wondering what's happened with the Swillbilly. That's somebody that I do know, and I would have. But the other day, I thought I gave the right email and stuff, and then that didn't get done. Um, but what I was going to say is the puppies. So right before I came on here, I did the pup. I made the pup. I moved the puppies into the living room where I'm sitting right now. Cleaned up their little spot, threw a new like a clean Afghan or blanket or whatever. Put them back in there because they're still like probably by the end of this coming week they will be moving around more. But like when I move them out into here, they pretty much just stay in that little tub and don't like really go. They're not venturing too much yet. But that's all going to change within this coming week. So anyway,